Hey everyone, and welcome to the 4th episode of the Create a Life You Love podcast with me, Patrick Manifold. I am constantly trying to reverse engineer emotions by studying those around me, those I read about in books and those I watch online. The two main emotions I study are happiness and its ugly counterpart, misery. I'll look at a happy person and ask myself, what are they doing in their lives that makes them consistently happy? Then I'll look at a miserable person and ask myself, what are they doing? What are their consistent behaviours that's causing them to feel that way on a regular basis? If you do this enough, and I've been doing it for as long as I can remember, you start to see patterns. Some are elusive and some are obvious, but it's one of the obvious ones I want to talk to you about right now. Perhaps one of, if not the most common contrast between happy people and miserable people is this. Happy people do what they love, miserable people don't. It sounds overly simple, yet it describes the vast majority of the people experiencing these two polar opposite emotions. Happier people do more of what they love and less of what they don't, on a consistent basis. It's as simple as that. Now, I'm not some wise old man who has been studying philosophy on a mountaintop for the last 8 years, so if I was able to figure this out, this secret, then surely others have too, right? Of course they have. Deep down, everyone knows this, but for some reason, the amount of people on this planet who are doing what they love every day is astronomically outweighed by those doing almost everything but. Like most negative behaviours, this likely stems from fear and insecurity. Maybe it's the fear of success or fear of failure. Perhaps it's a fear of what those closest around you might think, or an insecurity bestowed upon you by those around you, that you should always take the safe option, because only special people get to chase their dreams, right? Whatever your unique adaptation of this fear and insecurity is, and let's face it, you have a seemingly endless toxic buffet of choices to choose from these days. But I promise you, whatever it is holding you back. But just so you know, when you are hiding from the truth, you're not fooling anyone around you, and especially not yourself. The reward you get for saving face is an existence instead of a life. Truth, in all its forms, is always the first step to a better life, even if it is difficult to admit. Let's say your truth was that you don't do what you love to do consistently or at all, and you experience more misery than happiness on a daily basis. If that's the case, here's a big truth bomb for you. Of course you're miserable. If you're not being authentic to who you really are, how can you expect to be happy living someone else's version of happiness instead of your own? If you're listening to this, and I'm describing your existence, then this is the time to act. This is the sign you've been waiting for. Don't keep putting it off. Don't keep waiting for the perfect time to become your authentic self, because quite honestly, that time always has been and always will be right now. I hope this message is the kick in the heart you needed after all these years of suffering, to finally start living your life as if you are the one in charge of it, not your parents, not your siblings, not your friends, and certainly not society. You and only you. Happiness is simple. Don't try to overcomplicate it. Just do more of what you love and less of what you don't. And before you come up with an excuse and say, it's not always as simple as that, Patrick, well, it doesn't have to be simple. It just needs to be worth the effort that you're willing to put in. And I think that that's true. If happiness is important enough to you, and it should be, then my old faithful belief is all you need to know. Where there's a will, there's a way. Or, as they say in Italy, volere e potere. So what are you waiting for? Get off your butt and start brainstorming how you can become a happier person and a happier version of yourself right now. I promise, everybody around you will thank you for it. So what did you think? What were your answers to those two questions? Did you answer them honestly? Be honest. I hope so. If you're enjoying this podcast, I'd love to hear from all my listeners. So come on over to Instagram and join the discussion. Comment on one of my posts, send me a DM. Let's get connected. Until next time, a la próxima. Dream, believe, work hard, achieve. And please, be kind. Ciao for now.